Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Rider Spike back again once again. Today we're here for No.1 Sentai Gozyuger episode 10. And in this episode, we get some Showa vs. Reiwa action, and we get some all mechs being able to be used at once. And I hope this is a consistent thing, because seeing all of the mechs all fighting together at once was pretty freaking cool. And yeah, also we save our homie. We save our, Red Ranger who was kidnapped by Garud. But yeah, we see that and we also get some more lines from the Queen herself, seeing that the Queen is kind of taking more of a role in like actually giving orders, instead of just kind of like letting the king and the queen, well, the cake king and the queen give like the orders and stuff. Also, they weren't in this episode. They were defeated recently, but I guess they haven't like come back yet. But yeah, they weren't in this episode at all, which kind of like was weird. But it was really cool to see our pink hair girl. I haven't learned her name yet, but she ends up coming back in this episode as well, doing her little fighting and stuff like that. But we didn't get to see her mech in this episode either. Mostly our mecha fight was basically just based on the black and gold Mighty Morphin mech that we had to fight in this episode as well. And we get two sections of the teams basically focusing on this other thing that they're trying to do, which was Red and Yellow were basically looking for a way to get into the Buraidan world, and they kind of learned it from that they can come in and out from world to world by going through something circular. But I guess maybe that only the Buraidan can do that, and they can't do that themselves. But they kind of sort of do that when they transform and they're able to pull their own weapons, their signature weapons out of their chest and stuff. So maybe they have to have some sort of other device or other sort of thing to be able to get into the Buraidan world, which most likely they're going to figure out how to do anyway. But yeah, Red and Yellow are trying to find a way how to get into the Buraidan world. Blue isn't really, or Byakuya, he's really not in this episode that much at all. He kind of just only shows up at the end, back when we're getting ready to do like our mech fight and stuff like that. And we see that Black and Green, they're handling a No.1 monster, who is basically a No.1 monster for the Showa era, which he basically uses his power to transform a piece of the city back into the Showa era, and showing off like a lot of things that they did back in the Showa era. And we see that Green, he ends up taking him on because, like, hey, he's basically from the Showa era. He's like he's technically an 80-something year old man. So he goes into the #1 battle with the Showa monster, and he ends up losing that first one. And the Showa monster kind of mocks him for, you were an old man and you wish to be young again, to come back into, to relive your glory days, but you're reliving your glory days in the new era. And I think that's kind of foolish of you to do. And we also see that this Showa monster has basically taken over one of the customers that the Black Ranger, she's working at like this she's working at like a sandwich shop, and the guy that he took over is like a dude that's like a regular there. So they kind of got to go ahead and get this monster out of here. Green ends up losing to this Showa No.1 monster, and he kind of sulks about it for a little while, but then they kind of see like the beauty in how the world was back in the Showa era, like how some things were reverted and stuff like that. So there's certain cityscapes and things like that have been reverted back to their original states, so you can kind of see more of the beauty of the world back how it looked back then in the Showa era, which was very cool. And him and the monster go through a bunch of different Showa-ish things that they did back in the day, kind of shenanigans and stuff going up against each other. And we actually get some references like to some very old toku from back then. There was one guy named Zubat. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, but he was like, he's not a writer or a Sentai, but he was like his own thing, and he looked pretty cool. I would like to see a modernized version of that. like he looked dope, like especially with his colorway, his vehicle, stuff like that. They showed all that off, and they ended up defeating this monster the second round because they're showing how cool the Reiwa era is, but also giving a lot of props to the Showa era, because without the Showa era we wouldn't have the Reiwa era or the Heisei era. So they inevitably ended up defeating him while learning a great lesson, and then that's when Black and Green end up meeting up with Red and Yellow. They're off in a they're off in a battle with our pink-haired girl, and while they're fighting her, they ended up defeating all of her grunts, and that's when she summons, she tells the our sensei dude who's being controlled, because he has like these glasses on his face that are like controlling him, and they ended up changing our Mighty Morphin mecha into like this black and gold version of it, which looked pretty cool, and he's actually pretty tough. And when they ended up kind of getting whooped by him to a degree, but we see that Tegasaur himself ends up intervening and giving them the ninja gear, well, not gear, but ring, and he ends up giving them that ring, and they end up using the ring to be able to call all their mechs at once. When they call all their mechs at once, they end up jumping him. Like they just said, fluff it. Like this fight's got to get done quick because there's a lot of CGI happening and a lot of in-suit things happening. So let's wrap this up. So they end up defeating him, getting the glasses off his face that were controlling him. They end up getting destroyed, and they end up shaking hands with him. And he basically says that even though I was in the darkness, I did feel you guys reaching out to me, and I'm very proud of you guys. He shakes their hand, tells them good luck, and our episode ends off there. but yeah, overall this episode was pretty good. I did like it. Felt kind of fillery and whatever, but I guess it also had some plot relevant things that are being foreshadowed to us with our Sentai learning how to get into the Baraidon world by themselves instead of Baraidon end up coming to them. No fire candle in this episode. Seems like bro is on break right now. He can't really do anything because his mech has been basically destroyed. He could cause a little bit of trouble, but I guess they decided not to do that. They had him narrating and talking about the last episode in the beginning of this one, which I thought was cool. But yeah, I wonder where Blue was. Where was Byakuya like this whole time in the episode? Because he doesn't come in the episode until stuff started getting real serious. So I wonder what old boy was up to. Maybe doing some idle stuff or something like that. But I do wonder what he was up to. But yeah, man, this episode was good. I did thoroughly enjoy it. I hope that a lot of the stuff that they kind of reference in this episode do get paid off, especially with the whole visor controlling past other ring users and things like that. So most likely that's gonna be a recurring thing that the queen herself is going to be doing. Didn't really see Garud in this episode. I mean, we kind of did. We saw him in the castle, but other than that, he didn't really play a big significant role in this episode either. Probably most likely saving old boy for something else that's way more climactic. But yeah, man, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of No.1 Sentai Gozyuger. Did you like it? Did you hate it? And also, if you made it this far in the video, I thoroughly do appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yeah, guys, make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Remember, as I always say, stay henshin.